they're not a one-hit wonder. Signetti's the best coach in college football, but that schedule and whatever you want to say about Josh Hoover, he is not going to be Fernando Mendoza. I think everybody can bank on that. They're going to come back a little bit this year. I think they're still a playoff team, 10-2 at the worst, but that's still not worthy of being number one or number two. So I understand Indiana graduates all over the country are now starting to sound like Ohio State graduates and Alabama graduates and Notre Dame graduates, but slow down a little bit, okay, IU? You've had your day. You'll have some fun, but you're not winning the national championship this year.
See, I am old enough to remember a time when Paul Finebaum had to eat his words after we won the national championship. And yet, like clockwork, he's come back around to his SEC bias and is over here saying they're not winning the national championship. And then you, sitting there with that makeshift Michigan earring, is just so.
Oh, boy.
Is just. Do you say that from your chest? You're saying it because you lost a bet?
Yeah, I'm just saying lost the bet. I'm paying off the bet.
Okay, that's good. Nice. Let's stop showing that. His whole ear, it's gross. Okay, so Finebaum, do you still think what you said, or have you had some time to come to your senses now?
Shae, full disclosure, I know you're not supposed to talk about your personal medical issues, but I did go to the doctor the next day. He's an IU graduate, by the way. I am under heavy medication. I don't even remember making that statement last week because I was shamed so much by the shot I took at you at the end of the segment. I genuinely feel badly. Now, this is where I should come in with the mea culpa of all time and say, I was wrong, and Indiana is going to win the national championship again. Not happening. I'm not taking back a single thing. Maybe I could have said it nicer. Maybe I could have been more diplomatic. But, you know, these Indiana fans are really, and I don't know why I have to run it. I mean, I didn't know a single Indiana graduate until midway through last season, and now they are literally falling out of Amazon trucks. I don't know what's going on here. Everybody went to Indiana. It's a great school. I've been there in the wintertime covering basketball. I'm still cold from my experience there, but I think Indiana is a really good team. I predicted they'll go to the playoffs, Shae. They're probably 10-2. I'm worried about their offensive line, worried about the secondary, worried about the quarterback. Yes, the schedule, which I went into. So I can't wait to hear you brag a little bit more because your time of bragging is about over.
Oh, please. 10-2. I mean, first of all, I'll agree with you. It's a pretty easy schedule. 2 losses might even be hard to come by. Okay, so if you want to talk about getting bounced early in the playoff, I'll maybe agree there, depending on the matchup. But 10-2 seems a little steep. Okay, coming from you. Also, do you remember we're retaining our 2 coordinators? A lot of these teams ranked ahead of Indiana lost not one but 2 coordinators.
Head right now.
Okay, anyone else want to weigh in here? Is
yeah,
Indiana
I have a lot.
I need more medication, Mr. Finebaum.
You know, Paul, it's funny you mentioned heavy medication because last January as a University of Miami grad, Indiana sent me to heavy medication. About 15 tall boys after the Jamari Sharp interception was what I got into because I do not want to remember that game. Last year, Curt Cignetti had the best coaching job I've ever seen in professional sports. This year, they're retaining so much talent and adding so much talent. Guys like Nick Marsh. I do think Josh Hoover is really good. He's not going to be Mendoza. We didn't talk about Fernando Mendoza last August like he was going to be a Heisman winner, like he was going to be first overall pick. There's development that happens there. Shae mentioned the coordinators, the receivers, Charlie Becker. Indiana is the most likely Big Ten team to win the national championship. They are that good. I think we talk about them as a fluke. We talk about them as a one-off. I know you did not. You say that they're always going to be there every single year, but that talent level, they're there with Ohio State. They're there with Oregon. This is not an aberration. This is not a one-year thing. They killed the transfer portal even though they were playing in the national championship game. That's really hard to do when there was one window this year as opposed to 2 transfer windows the few years before. They were able to build a team while preparing to win the national championship. That's a very difficult needle to thread. So I think they've done everything that they needed to do in the offseason. I think Curt Cignetti is an amazing coach. Both coordinators are good. They are there deep into January.
Yeah, preseason rankings are stupid.
I don't disagree with that.
Always have been. They're even dumber now. I think there are 7 teams that legitimately can and should win national championship. Ohio State.
Okay.
Georgia. Texas. Notre Dame. Oregon. Indiana. Miami. All of them have great coaching. All of them have high-end, if not great, quarterback play. All of them can win in the trenches, and all of them are dynamic on the perimeter. So all 7 of those teams are legit contenders. Schedule comes into play for this a little bit, but not as much as it used to, because all 7 of those teams are more than likely going to get into the playoffs, 6 out of the 7. For Indiana, 3 out of their 4 toughest games are at home. I think the toughest game that they have on the road is at Michigan, I believe.
And I think it's right after Ohio State.
Right, it goes Ohio State, Michigan, and then there's a little bit of a breather, and then it goes
Here it is, on the screen.
USC, Washington. Okay, and I think Washington and USC are going to be good football teams. So there's no question Indiana is a legit bona fide contender. But to have 3 out of those 4 of those toughest games at home is a pretty significant advantage in comparison to others.
I agree. And you would argue it sets them up easily for the Big Ten title game. Like their path is much easier than, say, one like Ohio State.
Repeating is nearly impossible. I know it's happened a few times, but it doesn't happen very much. And the unknown pressure that is going to be on this program, it's going to be suffocating. And as great as I think Cignetti is, and I'll say that until Shae gets off my back, it's not going to be enough to overcome games on the road. There's a trap game in there. Is it at Nebraska? Is it Michigan? Is it Washington? I don't know where it is, but it will happen, and you know it, and I can't believe what you just got through saying.
Hold on. You think there's more pressure on Indiana than there is on Oregon or Ohio State?
Dan, I'm just talking about the pressure to live up to where the Shae Cornettes of the world are putting them. I think we don't need to debate how good a team they are, but Shae walks in here like she's talking about Alabama under Saban, Georgia in 21 or 22. That's not it. And I'm not going to demean Indiana any more than. But I mean, Shae, you just have to accept that Indiana is not going to win the title for all the reasons that I've said and none of the reasons that Kevin Clark laid out.
Okay, that's fine, Paulie. I can't wait to talk to you more about this in December and January. I can't wait. And he resides in Alabama. Like, let's just keep it a buck here. This guy covers the SEC, resides in Alabama, and he's over here talking
He's a Big Ten hater. He's a Big Ten hater.
He knows it all. Exactly. He's a big hater. Go ahead, Kevin.
He's a homer.
What were you going to say, Kevin?
Yeah, I haven't. I'm yet to see them lose a trap game under Curt Cignetti. I've seen them struggle with games like Penn State, but they still have always won it. So I haven't seen a distracted Indiana ever. I've only seen them lose to teams that have significantly more talent, which I don't see on a schedule this year. Looking at their schedule, I don't see many pitfalls, Dan.
The only pushback that I would have to you would be if we took those 7 teams that I kind of rattled off, they would be 7th at quarterback. And that has
For now.
Right, because that quarterback Hoover's a little unproven, but that could change quickly.
He turned the ball over. Now he's going to have the best receivers he ever has in his life.
Come on, he's at 7. He ain't going to be better than
What was
CJ
Fernando
Carr.
Mendoza when he left Cal? Come on, man. Like that could change quickly. Being in Indiana, you know that. What did you have Fernando Mendoza ranked last year, and then he won the Heisman?
I did not have Fernando ranked, but I don't have anybody ranked type stuff like that. But he's not going to become better than Darian Mensah or CJ Carr or Arch Manning or Julian Sayin. Because eyeballs are eyeballs.
Okay, we'll talk about it later.
I think he's got a chance. There's a couple guys he's got a chance to be better than. But I do. Julian Sayin, he can be better than Julian Sayin.
Julian Sayin's got the best player in college football he's thrown.
Right, but that's not the question.
Yes, it does. The quarterback will be better because of the human he's throwing to.
Okay, he's got Nick Marsh and Charlie Becker, who could be 2 first-round picks.
I agree with that. They ain't Jeremiah Smith.
Carter Smith, one of the best tackles in football. Yeah. A running game that's going to be better than he ever has in his life. Interior offensive line is better. One of the best guards in the country is up front.
I'm not debating how good of a team.
I'm not even that big of a Josh Hoover fan. I've just been backed into a corner where Shae and I have to defend Josh Hoover.
He is all those other quarterbacks that he's going against. Guess what? They got really good players around them too.
I'm in agreement with you, but I'm saying when the part of the portal is going to a place that maximizes your talents. Fernando Mendoza's talents were maximized last year. 2 years ago at Cal, I watched more ACC football than any human being on the planet. I've been through a lot, okay? I've watched a lot of ACC ball. Fernando Mendoza was not the same guy. He was tough. He was dependable. He could use his legs. He could make NFL throws, but he wasn't the guy we saw at Indiana. You go to Josh Hoover goes to Bloomington with Curt Cignetti, 2 future NFL receivers, NFL offensive line at least 3 of the spots. Yes, he's going to be significantly better, and he's going to be way closer to that group than you're talking about.
Oh, go ahead. Final word.
Yeah, the final word is that whether there's a trap game or not on the schedule, Indiana is in the playoffs. It's what happens in late December and January. And that's where I'm taking a wild bet here. But once you start seeing all these teams converge and Indiana has to play one of these other teams that we've talked about, I think it's going to come undone. Listen, they had an easy road last year. They played, and I'm responsible for this, by the way, a widely overrated Alabama team. I mean, that team was not very good. They had a really good quarterback, by the way. And then Indiana got by Oregon. I don't know what happens to Dan Lanning in January, but he needs to correct that. But that's really, I think they'll lose 2 games. It doesn't really matter where. They're still in the playoffs, but where are they seated and what do they have to face? And I think that will be their undoing.
Try to knock me off my feet, still standing with more money than I came with. Goddamn, took a loss, but I'm still a gambling man, betting all the chips that I got left.